Hello, welcome to Salt and Light Canning. I'm Jessica and this is my kitchen. I am so happy that you're here. Today we are trying something new. It's a little bit experimental, but we're going to try it anyway because anytime I'm in my kitchen and we're trying something or there's something that we use, I'm always like, how can I make this or how can I make this better? So today we are making cinnamon coffee syrup. So if you buy this for your coffee, because you like flavored coffee, you might want to try to do this yourself. Making a syrup is super, super easy. You can even make like pancake syrup with just these simple ratios and have great results. So I'm going to turn on my stove. All you need is equal parts brown sugar and filtered water. And we're going to stir this up and bring it to a boil. And I'm going to let it boil and simmer for about 15 or 20 minutes. If you were making like pancake syrup, you would do equal parts brown sugar and filtered water. And then you might want to add some maple flavoring. But today, since I'm making a cinnamon syrup, we're going to be adding cinnamon sticks to our jars. I'm going to bring this to a boil and let it simmer for about 15-20 minutes. And I'll be back when I'm putting it in jars. So today I am using my Tattler reusable lids again. And that means I have to get them ready. I've already marked them. Some of these I've used several times before. So I've already marked them and I'm going to pour boiling water. Now this is to get that gasket softened so that it will adhere better to the jar. It's all good things. So we're going to let those sit for just a couple minutes and soften. And while they're doing that, I'm going to put some cinnamon sticks in my jars. If you're wondering, dried spices are safe to can with. I think I'm going to do 2 per jar. We'll see. I might change my mind in the middle, and that's okay, because you know what? It's my kitchen. I get to do that. So I will have a link to the Tattler reusable lids in the description. I also have a link to my Amazon storefront. So check those out. I won't have anything on there that I don't use and that I don't really enjoy. But anyways, reusable lids are a great option, especially, I mean, literally a couple of years ago, we couldn't get any kind of canning lids anywhere. So if it's something that you don't think you're going to give away, or you just want to give it a try and maybe not have so much waste or things that you're throwing away in your kitchen, I highly recommend that you use some reusable canning lids, and it gives you more options. And like I said, some of these I've used several times before and they're still great and I can still use them. So I have some cinnamon sticks in these jars. I don't really know how far my syrup's going to go, so we're going to start with that. I'm going to fill my jars to 1/2 inch of headspace with my syrup. This looks just beautiful. And my kitchen smells nice. And I think this will be delicious in some coffee or tea. Now, what are some other flavors you could make? I think if you put like clove and cinnamon together, that would be really delicious for tea. Or you could put vanilla bean. use what you have, but if it's something that you'd already end up buying, why not give it a try? And I'm going to wipe the rim with some white vinegar. That's just to clean it off, to make sure that there's no sticky business there that would keep us from getting a good seal. I'm going to grab a lid and a ring, and it really does help if you're planning to use reusable lids. If you plan enough ahead to put your lids and your rings together in your water. And put our lid on and our ring. Now we're just going to turn this until the jar turns. No more than that. Because if you tighten it too tight, you're going to have problems. And we'll fill our next jar. This is very, very hot. Very, very hot. Holy cow. Move that out of my way. And fill our next jar. I know this is my pressure canner. I'm not pressure canning. I wanted to show you, I water bath in my pressure canner all the time. And if you're only going to buy one canner, buy a pressure canner. You can water bath in a pressure canner, but you cannot pressure can in a water bath canner. So if you're only going to buy one, get a pressure canner. And you won't regret it because you can do both. So I have my jars in here. Everybody's covered with water. And I'm going to turn on the stove. Okay. Now the difference is I'm not going to bring it up to pressure. I have way too much water in here for if I was pressure canning. I'm just going to set my lid right there and let it start boiling. I'm going to boil this syrup in this pressure canner that I'm using to water bath can for 15 minutes. We'll let our jars process for 15 minutes. And we'll take them out and I'll show you what you do when you are using Tattler lids. All right, so we'll be right back. Well, it'll be a little while for me, but very fast for you. The dogs are very excited today. It's just a day. But we're back and our canner has processed for 15 minutes. I just water bathed in my pressure canner. Give that a try. Truthfully, you only need to buy one canner. And if you're going to buy a canner, buy a pressure canner. So with the Tattler lids, be very careful to lift them out by the glass. And then take a towel and you're going to tighten down the ring. And this will help ensure a good seal. Just be careful not to burn yourself. Now, if I lifted out any of these jars and anything looked funky, or I was concerned that I might burn myself, I wouldn't touch it. In fact, I'd just leave it in the canner. Now these are gonna sit on my counter overnight, and in the morning I'll check the seal. Now if anything doesn't seal, I'll just reprocess it. I'm not concerned that I'd be throwing away lids that way. So something like this is a really good way to practice using your reusable lids and get comfortable with them. It's a great option, especially if you can't find lids. This is a great way to make sure that you can still can and make healthy food for your family, put up what's coming in out of your garden, and not have to be concerned about having to find new lids every single year. So there will be a link in the description box. Check it out. Also check out my Amazon storefront. Anything in there is something that I use and I love. So be so blessed, know that you're loved, and be a blessing to someone else. We'll see you in the next video.